Yo, what's going on guys, it's Tom, welcome back to a brand new video, and this is episode number 10, and we're at the halfway point now on my F1 2015 live cockpit career. And I do want to say guys, if you guys missed the last race at Silverstone, then I definitely recommend you go watch that video before you watch this one, because it was the most craziest race I've ever had on this game, and maybe ever. So I definitely recommend you guys go check that race out. It was an absolute monsoon, but not in terms of the weather, just in terms of pure action. But nevertheless, we're here in Hungary, and based on our practice guys, this could be one of our worst tracks of the season. We are really struggling, and just to compile the misery, we're in some really wet conditions here. We're on the intermediate tyres for qualifying, so speaking of qualifying, let's get into it, see how we can get on for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We was actually going faster than Hamilton, but Hamilton has literally improved his lap time, so we're just going to go around for another lap here. We just got to keep turning laps and see if we can try and get a better lap time. Here we're going across the line. We're going to go P3, 1.3 seconds off of Lewis's lap time. We're going to go for another lap here, see if we can try and improve on that. Here we go then, through the final corner. Did we improve on the lap at all? We'll probably go back out on a fresh set of inters after this one. We're going to come across the line. Can we get pole position? No, we can't. We get P5, so we're only 7 tenths behind Rosberg. And I'm not going to lie guys, these wet conditions could actually be a blessing in disguise for us. We're actually not that bad in terms of pace. We are far better than we was in practice in the dry conditions. Here we go then. Final corner. This has actually been a pretty okay lap. I'm slightly up on my time. I've tried so hard this. I put my try hard pants on. We're going to come across the line and we improve. We get P4. We improve by about 10.5. And I think that's going to be our last lap of the session. So 4th place for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So very solid qualifying. So we're going to move into the final results. So there we go then, we get P4 for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and that's a really good result for us. Sergio Perez actually getting P10, and we got a Mercedes 1-2, so it's going to be an exciting race. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So here we are then for the race. As you can see, we've got the green tyres on the car, so it's intermediate conditions for the start of this race, just like qualifying, which is actually, like I mentioned briefly in qualifying, it might be a blessing in disguise for us, because we seem to be faster, as my phone goes off, we seem to be faster in these wet conditions. So fingers crossed, this could actually play into our hands quite nicely, because I wasn't confident in the dry, but this might give us half a chance. I don't know what the conditions or the forecast is going to be like for the race, but yeah, we're not going to babble much longer, and we're going to jump straight into the race for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. Going to put the front brake bars on. Here we go, 4th place, and away we go. Going to try and minimise the wall spin. Getting a horrible start actually, really bad start. We're going to get swamped by the Red Bull and the Ferrari on the left, so just got to hold our line into turn 1 here. Hopefully we can hold our 4th place. We're just going to hold the apex here, just go onto the apex. There's been a bit of contact there with Ferrari, just understeered clean to Raikkonen there, and I think Raikkonen's taken the Red Bull with him, and there's been some sort of crash behind us. It's been a huge crash actually, looking at the mini-map, all the dots that seem to be staggered on the map there. Here's Bottas, he's going to try and look up my inside. I'm just going to go defensive here and cover him off, and we're going to hold 4th place then for the start of the race. So a really good start so far, and now we've got to try and find our rhythm. So here we are then, we've caught up to the back of Vettel. It's been a very boring first opening laps to the Grand Prix, but we have managed to catch up to the German. We've found our rhythm this race. It took us a couple of laps, but we have managed to find our rhythm. As you can see, setting a personal best laps now, and we're on the switch with Vettel here with Richmond. Can we make a move to turn 1 possibly here? We're going to pull to the inside. We're going to go for a late braking move. Can we make it stick? We're just going to hold the inside here, squeeze him out, and we are going to get a position. And we're having a P3, so good start so far. Mercedes are doing their own thing up front, so we're just going to just maintain that pace here. I don't think we're fast enough to match the Mercedes this race, but we can definitely match Vettel in the Ferrari for 3rd. So if we can get a podium here and do some damage limitation, that would be lovely. Right, I've started to struggle on these tyres now, and Sebastian is actually coming back at me, and here he comes. He's got some huge slipstream. He's actually going to go to the inside. I'm just going to go offensive a little bit, not too much. We're going to have to go on the brakes quite early. I'm going to try and go around the outside here. Can I make the move stick? He's going to try and squeeze us. We're going to try and hang around the outside, get stuck on the curb a bit. Struggling to get the power. Vettel's still on our right hand side. We're just going to take up the inside line here. Can we make the move stick? We're running a bit deep. Vettel is going to cut back on us here, but we have got the move done, and we're going to hold the 3rd for the time being. But the Mercedes has just completely vanished. I'm struggling now in these tyres. The Mercedes are too fast for me in this race. Well, it looks like we have ourselves some company. The 2 Williams have actually joined into the chase with Vettel, and I'm really starting to struggle on my rear tyres, and it looks like I could be vulnerable here on the straight. Here comes Vettel in the slipstream already. He's so fast. I'm going to go defensive. Once again, I'm going to brake early. Can we hang it around the outside again this time? We're just going to try and hang it in, make sure there's no contact. Vettel's going to come out really wide, going to force me onto the curb, and I can't get any traction there. Vettel's still alongside me here, but once again I'm going to try and take the inside line here. Hopefully we should be okay to defend from this. Bottas is lurking as well. I'm running, oh shit, I'm running really deep. Back end's going. Here comes Bottas, I think, around my outside. I'm just going to try and hold it here for a second. And we managed to hold on to third place, but Bottas has passed Vettel. And a bit of a scrap is actually starting to fall now after a very boring first 10 laps of the race. Things are finally starting to heat up. Right, it is pit stop time, and things are about to get hella interesting here. And let's see who comes into the pit lane. So Vettel, Bottas and Massa all stay out, and my teammates, so everyone's staying out. Not even the Mercedes are into the pit lane, I don't think. So I'm the only one that's pitting this early, so this is sort of worrying me a bit because my tyres are basically run out. So I've got, I think I've got a problem here where my tyres are wearing quite a fair bit more than the rest of the AI. So if that's the case, I'm going to be struggling for the race because I need to do an extra pit stop essentially unless the conditions dry out. So it's going to be wet for the foreseeable future, so things aren't looking good. Let's just try and hold the inside on Alonso here, make sure he doesn't get past us. There we go. Job done. So we're in P12. We're going to need a couple of good laps here before the AI pit. Maybe we can try and pull out a gap and maybe gain some ground on the Mercedes, even though they were like 12 seconds ahead of me. Here's Ericsson. Can we make a move on him here? We're going to get a really good run through that right-hander there. We're going to go to the outside. Can we make this move stick? We're going to try and go for it here. We're going to go to the outside. We're going to just hang it around the outside. There's been contact. We've spun, I think, Ericsson out. No, he hasn't. He's managed to catch it. A very nice save there from Marcus Ericsson. But I tried to squeeze him onto the apex, but he wasn't going to give up on that one. And there's contact. Inevitable contact there. But we're up into P11 now. Okay, so now all of the AI are into the pit lane. So we're going to see where we feed back out on track. It's going to be very interesting, this one. Let's see who is in the pit lane. I don't think everyone is, but we are going to retake P6 for the time being. So the main guys, there's Massa behind me, so we've come ahead of him, but the main guys are Bottas and Vettel who we're battling with. They've stayed up for another lap, so we've got one more lap here to try and pump in some lap times. We've got a few more cars in the pit lane here. We should be able to regain a few places as we set almost the personal best lap of the race. We're going to take P3, so I think we are back into a net position because Bottas is behind us there and Hamilton is now in second, so I think we're back into where it was. And look how much the gap has actually extended just by hitting 2 laps earlier, which was actually my scheduled stop anyway. So I managed to pull out quite a considerable gap here, and I'm on fresh tyres, so I should be able to maintain that for a little while. But once these tyres wear off, I think the same thing's going to happen again, and they might start catching me, so we have to keep an eye out for that. Okay, it is time for slick tyres. Let's do this. Vettel, Bottas and Massa pit exactly 1 lap ago, so I was like the last car to go around on these tyres, so I'm going to wreak the deficit of going around 1 more extra lap when I probably could have pit for dryers 1 lap ago. But we're in the pits nevertheless, so hopefully we don't lose any positions, and we should feed straight back out in 3rd place. If all goes according to plan, we're going to go straight to the option tyre, and it'll be... Oh no, wait, why is it taking so long? Wait, Perez must have come into the pit lane like 2 seconds ago, because it should have been ready for me. Okay, now we might be in a bad position because Vettel, Bottas and Massa were all on dry tyres a lap ago, so they should be coming that pit straight. So if they're not, they must have some kind of incident, and I think that's Bottas right there. Yes, it is. So this is going to be very close, but hopefully we should be able to just come out ahead of Bottas, and there we go, we just avoid the panic. But we're going to have to re-lap Roberto Meri, which isn't good, but we're now on the dry tyres for the first time in this race, and based on what I said before, we should struggle, but I think some of these AR cars could go primes to the end, whereas I want to go double options. So I'm going to go for a different strategy here, but hopefully it's the right one. And we should be in a couple of laps time for another set of option tyres, as Roberto Meri is becoming a real pain in the arse. Shit, a brick. That was horrible. Oh my god, we actually set a fast lap of the race there momentarily after that incident. So we are actually stupidly fast on these tyres, because the Mercedes set a fast laps as well, but they were like a second slower. I just wonder if the Mercedes have actually gone onto the Inter again, or they're on the Prime. Okay, the back end really is starting to become a pain in the arse, even though I say that we just set another fast lap of the race, but Jesus Christ, the back end is really not happy in these mixed conditions where the track is quite greasy. And another fast lap of the race, 4 times faster than the previous one. I'm just starting to wonder where we would have been had we not had that horrible pit stop. That cost me like 5 seconds, maybe even more than that, 6 seconds. And another fastest lap. We got some stupid pace, and we're going to be pitting in this lap now for our first set of options, because obviously we won't be able to make it to the end on these tyres. So hopefully that goes well. We've got plenty of rich mix in the tank to go to the end, so we should be comfortable. Right, here we go into the pit lane. for our final stop this race. We're going to go into another set of option tyres. I think Bottas actually pit last lap, so he's going to go for the undercut on us, so we're simply just responding to what he did to us. Hopefully this time we have a good pit stop, and it looks like the mechanics this time are ready for us, just about. No, they're not. I think Perez is just coming to the pit lane himself. Yes, he has, so we're going to be once again having a horrible pit stop. So Perez has absolutely screwed us over twice. This time wasn't so bad, it was 3.9, so not too bad of a pit stop, but once again Perez has cost us a bit of time, and Vettel was staying out, so I wonder if Vettel's on the prime tyres. If he's on the primes and he's going to the end, that could be very interesting. Here's Bottas on the left hand side. He's actually gone for the undercut. Is he going to manage to make the undercut work? He's still alongside. He's actually got past us, so Bottas has made the undercut work, and we've got a very interesting final stint on our hands here. We're still on the back of Bottas here. We're just going to wait for the DRS, and we should be able to get him quite comfortably down the pit straight. We are in rich mix, we're on fresh tyres, so there should be a pretty easy overtake here. Just going to get one to the slipstream here. Bottas actually sets a fast lap of the race. We're going to go to the inside here with the DRS. We're just going to take the inside line, and it should be a pretty easy overtake if I don't run in too deep, which I have done, and Bottas has actually completely mugged me off here, and we're going to have to try and take him again. So a really stupid move from me. I went in way too deep. I should have just broken a bit earlier. I tried to outbrake him when the AI do break ridiculously late in this game, so that's pretty much impossible. Here we are then once again. Can we make a move on Bottas into this corner? No, we can't, but maybe through here if he goes quite slow, which he does. We're going to try and swoop up the inside here. Can we maybe have a look up the inside of Bottas here? He's going to really squeeze us onto the apex, but we do have a look up the inside, and this time it looks like we are going to get the move done here up the inside of the chicane. There we go, job done, and we're now back on the P4. Fastest lap of the race, and Vettel is in the pit lane, so we're back on the P3 now. So here we go then, through the final corner for the final time this race, and we're going to come through for a solid third place and 15 points. The only issue being that both Mercedes finished ahead of us, but wow, that was actually quite a draining race in terms of mentally trying to keep up with the pace, but I think that felt like a bit of a boring race in many ways though. Also, I'll see when I edit it back, but that's definitely a bit of a boring race compared to last time out of Silverstone, which was an absolute madness of a race, and probably the best race this season. I don't think many races will beat Silverstone. Overall, a solid race, 15 points, which is what we got to care about, to be honest, and we probably will send it in the championship, so there's nothing to worry about there. And overall, it was a really solid result, and I think the team will be happy with that, and I think you guys will be happy with that as well. So we're going to look at the final race results now and see how the final order came out. And as you can see, looking at the top 10, our teammate Sergio Perez actually finished way down in P15, so Perez was a very disappointing 15th place there after such a good qualifying result, and he's actually as high as like 6th or 7th at one point in the first and second stint, so he must have had some sort of altercation. So that was quite a poor result for him, but overall a solid result there. Vettel in 5th there, and Raikkonen in 6th at Ferrari with a very disappointing race, but overall a solid 15 points. And we're going to look at the Drivers' Championship here, and we still got a 46 point cushion over Lewis Hamilton, and Rosberg with that race boosted himself up a little bit, and we're now 50 points. 52 points apart, sorry, and we've got a really comfortable lead in the Drivers' Championship. And looking at the second half of the table, we are still comfortably second in the Constructors' Championship. So overall, it's been a really solid race, and a damage limitations as far as I'm concerned. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like down below on the video. If you're new in here, please subscribe to my channel. And I know you guys, that's all for this video, and I'll see you very soon. So I'll be Thomas, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.